Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story, which comes from ComicDuhComic from the Off My Chest subreddit and says, "My neighbor is cheating," and it does have a few updates with it. I feel like shit about this. I was eating lunch with a friend when I saw my neighbor kissing someone. His wife is very pregnant and brunette. The woman he was all over was neither of these things. I mean, if his wife was an 80s movie, there would have been saxophone music playing at how hard they were making out. I know his name after I fixed their thermostat back in December. He approached me to see if I knew how to fix it. I never caught her name. I, without digging too deep, know that he is cheating. There is no open relationship and she is pregnant. I saw their wedding picture when I was in their place. I've now seen him with this other woman on 2 occasions. The second time was her dropping him off at his place. Could be a co-worker. I don't feel like I know either of them well enough to say something. I cannot stand cheaters, but is it my place? I hate this guy. I barely know. He fucking sucks. And basically an overview of the comments were absolutely you should tell the person, etc, etc, etc. And so the next update came in around a month later and said, "I posted about my neighbor cheating on his pregnant wife a while back. I said I would wait until she gave birth in order to not add to a stressful situation, if I was going to say anything at all. I saw them bringing in their twins from the hospital about 2 weeks ago. They looked very happy and I decided to say hello. I said my brother had twins with his ex-wife. I then turned to the cheating guy and said they needed a lot of help right after they were born. Do you have someone helping you?" He said, "Well, we actually moved out here for work and don't have any close family or friends nearby. Family was traveling out to help." I walked away thinking, who is the woman I've seen you making out with numerous times? Well, I found out last night. It's his boss, as she was dropping off a gift for the new babies while I was coming home. It was a short elevator ride that felt like an hour. I'll admit I took a little longer opening my door to go in. I was glued to the body language difference. She gave him a hug that you would give to someone you've never hugged before. He went for a hug, handed them a bag and never went in. So yep, he's cheating with a co-worker. He is shit. The safety issue has weighed on me. If I were to leave an anonymous note, she might get hurt or worse when confronting him. I don't know them well enough to know how either would react. Hell, I don't know how some of my close friends would react to a note like that. If I were to leave a thumb drive with photos and videos, the safety issue is still there. He couldn't explain it away easily, but 2 infants and a woman much smaller than him might have something bad happen to them as a result. I've thought about the boss and other woman. What if I let her know that someone knows? She seemed to care enough to not jump his bones in front of his wife. Would someone who is shitty enough to cheat with a married man back off at something like that? Would them stopping be enough, or should the wife know regardless if it is still happening? I know, mind my own business. I feel we should look out for each other. I wish more people felt that way too." And we do have more updates, but a couple of comments from that one. Wastad says, "If family is traveling out for help, can you wait until they're there and then do it? I hear what you're saying about safety, so someone will be there as a precaution. She will also need someone there for support, especially if they moved for his job and she has no one. She probably already feels isolated. If it was me, I would want to know, but very much appreciate your concern and dilemma. I feel so bad for her. What a piece of shit he is, and the chick is right there with him. Anyone who has a problem delivering a gift to the family of their affair partner would not be scared if you contacted them. They don't have a conscience or guilt if they can do that. She probably enjoyed doing it. I'd be more inclined to send a copy of everything directly to their HR team. If she's his boss, I'm guessing she's violating the company's code of conduct." Quick Draw says he sees his affair partner every day at work, so I assume they cheat there as well. And he brought her into his house around his wife and kids. They're practically laughing in his wife's face. Tell her, show her the evidence. It will suck for her because she just had the babies, but she needs to know. For her health's sake as well. Who knows if they're using protection or not, and the longer it goes on, the worse it is for her. I would want to know. Another month later, OP comes in and says, "I kept my anonymity, so this will be hard to go into deep detail. I found out for a fact he was cheating on his pregnant wife with a co-worker. I wanted to punch him in the jaw whenever I walked past him. I'm glad I didn't. I collected pictures of him and his boss making out, both at dinner and dropping him off. Once her family was around to help with their newborn kids, I wrote out a note. The note went like this: I hope I am way off and your sister's safety is far more important than anything else. On this thumb drive there is a video and pictures of your brother-in-law cheating on your sister with his boss. I hope I am not exposing you to a lifestyle that all three are consenting to. I strongly think that this is not the case. I'd reveal my identity if I told you why. If that is the case, I'm not judging. Disregard and have a laugh at me. I noticed the affair several months ago. I wanted to wait until the twins were born and family could keep her safe. I'm so sorry that the news is coming to you this way. I wish I could do more, but I feel like doing this is stretching beyond my limits. I left it in an envelope on their rental car, which was making my stomach feel like it was in my throat while I did it. I waited and I waited and I waited. Then I noticed a U-Haul being loaded up with boxes. I asked if someone was moving in. The guy turned out to be the wife's brother and they were moving back to her parents so they could help with the twins. I knew the real reason and I feel a weight off of my chest. Yet there is still doubt that I shouldn't have gotten involved at all. The brother told me that the husband was staying because of his work. So I still have to live right by this shit. I feel overall mixed about it. I keep second guessing myself, thinking I should have done it different, sooner, or at all. I truly hope that I did the right thing. So few people know that I did this, but except for those of you who read this and helped me realize it was what I needed to do. Thank you, but my dislike for this guy has become only worse. Fuck him. I hope I never have to interact with him again. 3 months later, after that post, Opie comes in. There is so much information since my last post. Again, I'm sorry if I came off as cagey. I don't want to give away who I am. If somehow one of them ever came across this. With that out the way, the wife is never around. I still feel so bad for her. She seems like a sweet lady. She took her kids up to her parents, I can assume because of finding out about the infidelity. As for the husband, he does not wear his wedding band anymore. The boss still comes around. When the wife initially left, she came around more. One other woman has started coming over to his place too. They are getting a divorce. I found out in a way that makes me dislike this guy even more than I did. Again, try not to dive too much into my personal life. I've recently started dating again after staying single for a while. Someone I've been seeing off and on told me he hits on her whenever she visits me. Obviously not every time, but when she runs into him while visiting. He told her he is going through a divorce. His ex is a total bitch for moving back home. I don't really socialize with him. He seems to be out chasing women as if he was always single. I haven't really worked through why I feel so conflicted about the whole thing. I know I did the right thing. We should look out for each other. I hope one day I get past my weird feelings about it. Maybe if I let someone in my life know what I did. It feels like a weird secret to be carrying with me. I wish he was as miserable as I'm sure we all wish he could be. Either he is good at hiding pain or he feels freer to sleep around without his wife and kids to hold him down. I wish people were more empathetic of the feelings of people they claim to care about. Stay safe. There are good people out there. The bad ones are just a bit louder. I'll keep people updated if you want me to. And OP's last update currently a couple of months later and says this will be quick, yet a big update. The cheater was arrested by an undercover cop for solicitation of a sex worker. He was caught as part of a police sting. I've learned that he comes from a pretty wealthy family. They own a lot of grocery stores, so he was bailed out of jail fairly quickly. All the neighbors know about it. The woman he is currently dating must too. She's been around since he was arrested, so I don't think they are breaking up over it. He's seeing a few women, but she is around the most. As for his ex, she was up here for a friend's party that I also attended. I'm not going to say how that happened. It would give away my identity. She seems better in many ways, but you can see the toll this past while has had on her. Her ex was arrested after the party. She didn't mention him, but we did see pictures of her twins. They are adorable for those wondering. She is back in school and living with family. You know when you see someone and they're sick, but they're getting better. That's the best way I can describe it. She clearly got some psychological wounds from all of this. She seems tough though. As for the cheater, he doesn't seem all that different from the end of his marriage. I hope going to jail teaches him some kind of lesson. I highly doubt it though. And I just think it was one of those bitter, sweet endings, I think. That it's really sad that The wife had to go through all of this to begin with, but it's best that she's out of that situation as well, because clearly that guy has been sleeping around for some time, will continue to do so, will continue to be shit, and doesn't really care that much. I always wonder how people got so much time for this. After I get various chores and work done, I'm always like, where's time gone? It's just disappeared. The people having multiple relationships and sleeping around and all that sort of stuff. I'm always like, where are you getting this time from? Send some my way. Not the relationships, of course. I mean, just the time. I need some more time. OP did remind me of a couple of neighbors that I used to know when I was very much younger, though, where I used to live when I grew up. About sort of like the curtain twitchers, watching you through the curtain. It just sort of reminded me of that. I'm not criticizing, but it just gave me that sort of picture in my head, you know, of like OP peeking around the curtain. He hasn't got a wedding band on. It just gave me this picturing this setup of some private investigator behind this curtain. He's peeking around and he's got like a listening device. Big recorder next to him. Then on the wall behind him, there's a big investigative board with photos and string going through each one and locations. Anyway, I'm going off as usual here. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. You think OP was right to get involved or not? Let us know your thoughts and let's move on to another story. And our next story does come with an update as well from Unable Departure 436 and says, am I the arsehole for crying when my wife forgot my birthday? When I, 36 male, was a kid, my parents never celebrated my birthday. The only reason I even knew what day my birthday was because of family members wishing me happy birthday. I tried really hard to make everyone I'm close to have a really good birthday. I guess my logic is so they feel wanted and appreciated, and not how I felt as a kid. It was my birthday yesterday, and my wife, 35 female, didn't mention it at all. She didn't say happy birthday to me or anything. Neither did my daughter, but she is 4, so I don't expect her to. Lol. I don't really care too much about presents or doing anything special. It just would have been nice for her to at least acknowledge that it was my birthday. I did wait until midnight in case she was doing that thing they do in movies where the person pretends they have forgotten someone's birthday when they actually haven't. I know that's stupid, but still. After it turned 12, it's really embarrassing, but I just kind of broke down crying. I know it's stupid crying over something that isn't a big deal, but it just made me feel how I felt as a kid, and it just brought back a lot of feelings and memories from my childhood. My wife walked in on me crying, pretty much in the middle of a panic attack to be honest, lol. She asked me what was wrong, and once I told her, she got really angry and accused me of trying to make her feel bad for something that's not important. She was shouting at me a lot and she was quite loud, which woke my daughter up, so I left the room to put her back to sleep. So there was a comment on this one that asked some info. They said, info, is there something going off in your lives at the moment that could have distracted your wife from the date? How does your wife treat her birthday? Does she behave as though it is important, or does she dismiss any celebrations on her day? How has your wife treated you on your previous birthdays? Clearly you've been together for at least 4 birthdays, considering the age of your child. Does she normally get really angry with you? Is your wife aware of your personal history? The way your parents treated you? And no, crying over something isn't stupid. It is the body's way of helping. It has various benefits, including releasing stress and easing physical and emotional pain, though the release of oxytocin and endorphins. OP says, not that I know of. She likes doing a big thing for her birthday because it's important, which makes sense, and I'm happy to make her birthday special for her. She usually gets me a card or something small and says, happy birthday. Kind of, yeah. And I think the kind of yeah was a response to the way the parents have treated OP in the past, so she's aware of the personal history basically. Worldly Feedback says, I get the impression that you do want something, that you would like a celebration or a surprise. You're doing yourself a disservice by not communicating explicitly what you want. It does take away part of the birthday magic, but then you can actually get what you want. I've been there, and experience shows the best way to get what you want is by explicitly telling people or organizing something yourself. Your birthday is about you, not about what your wife wants. Not the arsehole and happy belated birthday. OP says, I just want my birthday to be at least acknowledged. I don't care about doing anything special, honestly. Thank you. Now, at first, I was a bit like, mistakes happen, people do forget things, it's part of life, I think it'd be pretty difficult to forget your significant other's birthday, but it happens. Things do happen like that. But then, when she walked in on you crying and she saw you really upset and she asked what was wrong and you said it about the whole birthday thing, she got angry and accused you of making her feel bad. No concern, started shouting at you. That's awful. And the fact that she's turned to shouting and accusing you when you're deeply vulnerable like that has gotten me side-eyeing everything here. That is shit. Especially if she knows your past history as well. But wish I was home, says Not the Arsehole. I don't know why your parents didn't celebrate, but if for religious reasons, you have trauma from that in and of itself. Your wife, busy with a 4-year-old, yes, I get it, but her flipping the switch and saying it wasn't important was even more cruel. It wasn't important to her, but it was to you. I am really sorry. Happy belated birthday. A part ad says Not the Arsehole, and you aren't stupid at all. You cried because you felt forgotten, and that re-stimulated the trauma you felt as a kid. I bet you make a big effort for your wife's birthday. She had no right to dismiss you or tell you something is unimportant to you when it really is. Or shout at you and wake up your child. If you can, it might be worth getting some therapy, because if your wife treats you like this a lot, then that's even less okay, and you might want to reevaluate the relationship. And one more comment from Sent1234 who says Not the Arsehole, but man, the relationship is already dead. You got yelled at for having feelings. You got told that being seen and valued is not important. You got darvoed. You're being abused. And if that seems unimportant to you, just bear in mind that if she'd treat you this way, she'd treat your daughter this way. Oh, and happy birthday, buddy. You're awesome. So OP comes back into the post and says, thank you so much for all of the replies on my previous post. I spoke to my wife and she told me that she shouted at me because she was just tired. She seemed sorry and I didn't want us to fight anymore, so I forgave her. A lot of people suggested that I have a sort of celebration with my daughter, which I did do. We baked a cake together yesterday and she also made me a birthday card. There's glitter everywhere now, which was very sweet. This probably wasn't the update most people wanted, since a lot of people who replied wanted me to divorce her or for there to be some big fight between my wife and I. I just don't think that's necessary. I really love her and I'm happy with her. I don't want anything to change. This was just a mistake that hopefully won't happen again. My wife told me that it's partly my fault anyway, because I should have reminded her that it was my birthday, but I didn't, and I agree with that. So we're pretty much even now, I suppose. What the hell was that? She told you it was your fault. You didn't remind her it's your birthday. Yeah, I'm not happy with that update at all, if I gotta be quite honest with you. Not that it makes any difference, but yeah, felt like absolute shit. Oh, dearie me. Crone Down Under says, thanks for the update, but I agree with the others that her blaming you for not reminding her about your birthday is deeply arsehole behavior. OP, have the perfect Christmas present for you to get your wife. A perpetual birthday calendar that can live somewhere prominent so that the page gets turned every month. That can be your kid's job. No excuse for ever forgetting anyone in the family/neighborhood's birthday or anniversary again. There's a lot of theme choices for these, like the Sandra Boynton one. Boynton? I hope I got that right. But there's a floral or horses, mountains, dolphins, TV shows, etc. choices too. Look online and pick something she likes so it doesn't look passive aggressive. Actually, maybe just get one for your kid instead, but still ensure it gets placed somewhere the whole family can see it daily. OP says I was going to buy a calendar anyways. Last year I marked all the important days, birthdays, holidays, etc. on it with my daughter to teach her all the months and numbers. Even though I think she forgot everything the next day because she was only 3, but that's okay. Lol. And like I said, I feel really sad about that update because 1, she's blaming you for forgetting your birthday, which just seems insane in itself. And I just kind of get the feeling that's going to happen again next year. You know, if she forgets again next year, then she's going to go, wow, that's your fault. This happened last year and you should have reminded me again. And I think if I was in the wife's position in this and I forgot the birthday, I would do something to make up for that. I would arrange a special day with your family and go and do something, etc. But it sounded like you just went and baked a cake with your daughter. The wife wasn't involved at all. Maybe she was involved in helping make the birthday card. I don't know. The information just wasn't there. But to me, it just felt like it was all dismissed. You know, this is your fault. You should have reminded me about it. let's move on kind of thing. You can go and do your birthday card, your birthday cake with our daughter, and I'm going to carry on with life. But what do you guys make of this situation? Did that update make you feel like I feel in this one? Or not? Maybe you feel completely different and feel like everything's okay. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And for sharing your pictures over on Twitter or X, whatever it's called, at Mark Narrations, by the way, of what you're up to over this Christmas period. Absolutely love to see it. Thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. Okay, I know that today'll be a good day. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, drink some